Peace, you guys. So this is going to be my third coverage on Kendrick Lamar in regards to what he's promoting. There's rumors about his album coming out, whether it be the end of this year or maybe the top of next year. And I believe that it's going to be the end of this year. I believe that it's going to be released in December for this sun god. And it's all revolved around the sun god in regards to this world that we live in, especially in the year 2020. When you really think about it in regards to assessing music, in regards to assessing politics, so on and so forth, everything has been revolved around the worship of Osiris, Heru, Horus, and so on and so forth. You know, even the energy of the mother goddess with Isis, Minerva, so on and so forth, Astarte, Aphrodite. They believe in the pagan gods, and we must inform ourselves more and more in regards to what these people are about when it comes to the idols. When I say these people, I'm talking about the antediluvian forebearers and the post-diluvian forebearers who are worshipped as false idols, false gods in different regions like Kemet, Greece, Rome, so on and so forth. But with this video here, PG Lang, Kendrick Lamar is showing you that he's inspired by a man named Eckhart Tolle, a spiritual leader, quote unquote spiritual leader, who teaches based off of the understanding of Crowleyism. He believes that do what thou wilt is the philosophy that's meant to, help people in regards to, it being something that's sustainful. So he really believes in the Aleister Crowley doctrine of do what thou wilt, but he tries to teach it in a way where it's softer. It's not as abrasive or provocative because, the doctrine of do what thou wilt when it comes to Aleister Crowley is something that a lot of people, even if they're not in religion, they understand that it's based in Satanism. So Eckhart Tolle's mission is to teach do what thou wilt, but in a way where it's more soft. And this is what PG Lang is all about. It's all based in do what thou wilt. They try to give you this mission statement or this objective of, breaking the formats for the curious, for the people who want to know, and just doing you, do what you want to do. That's do what thou wilt, do you. You feel what I'm saying? So let's just go into this.
Welcome to PG Lang and our service company. Break formats for the curious. Focus on development. Youthful talent. Focus on development. Youthful talent. Unique stories. Design. And most of all, unique taste.
Now you see that sun imagery right there. That's for the sun god. It's for Osiris or Heru, Horus. And the reason why I say Osiris or Heru or Horus because it's all the same thing. Osiris was known as the black sun because he was worshipped as Saturn in Roman mythology. You feel what I'm saying? Then later on to be worshipped as the sun when he was killed by Set. And then, incarnated or quote unquote reincarnated as Horus. Harpocrates, the child god Horus, at the behest of Isis, the virgin mother. That's where you get the virgin birth from. Christ, he had a father. The reason why people think that Christ was born of a virgin is because of the teachings of the ancient Babylonian Kemetic mystery school system where Heru is Christ. You get it? So that's what it's all about. When you study the winter solstice in regards to the understanding of, this year it being on December 21st and Christmas, I believe is on a Thursday. No, yeah, on a Thursday. So, on a Friday, excuse me. Christmas being on a Friday and that Thursday being, Christmas Eve. The reason why they call it Eve is for Mother's Night because it's supposed to be based in the Saturnalia. You feel what I'm saying? From Monday to Friday, you have the winter solstice going from that day where it's the least sunlight. And then you go into Christmas where it's the most sunlight because it's supposed to represent Osiris being reincarnated into Horus. You get what I'm saying? Now, the sun itself is just the sun. It's created from the Most High. But the ancients, in regards to the people who worship Osiris, Lucifer, so on and so forth, they looked at the sun and they connected him with the sun. Because, Nimrod and Cush, Semiramis, particularly Nimrod and Cush, they started civilization. They preserved life in regards to the understanding of the flood. So that's why they worship the sun, because the sun is supposed to preserve life. You get what I'm saying? In regards to, it really affecting so-called black people because of the vitamin D and so on and so forth. But we're not supposed to worship it. And that's where the problem lies.
Bullshit. They always tell you what you can't do.
Some shit for the critics. Some shit for the crowd.
Notice how it's pandering to the left eye, even though his left eye is closed, but it's showing you from that angle of the left eye for the mother goddess, Isis.
Do you have the tools? PG Lane.
They gotta show that Manu Carnuto hand sign. Like, brothers, I know y'all been seeing that lately, man. Brothers and sisters, I know y'all been seeing that lately. That Manu Carnuto, devil goat horn hand sign. That shit is everywhere, man. They have to do that. They have to promote that horn goat. They have to show you that they worship Luciferianism, Lucifer. They have to show you that.
Trademark in my son on fit. Yeah, I can't help but feel affected. Changing up my schedule every time you leave the session. I can't help but feel affected. I can't help but feel affected. Changing up my schedule every time you leave the session. Fucking ass up one time. Fuck, man.
You a critic, boy, shut the fuck up.
So Kendrick Lamar, you see him sporting the all black for Saturn. And he's going to meet up with Baby Keem, who's sporting all black. This is an indication that Kendrick Lamar is Baby Keem's handler. And I'm going to go more into it.
I'm a freak hoe, hit a dog, and I'm in the cut. She don't wait, cause I energize way too much. If we got up on the pick, hoe, it's time to pick it up.
You see, like, this whole thing, this whole montage or whatever you want to call this video, whatever, it's supposed to represent nothingness. It's supposed to represent stillness, not really thinking, not really having a conscience. And it's basically a thinly veiled way of saying do what thou wilt. Because at the end of this video, well, not this one, but the end of the last video that I did on Kendrick Lamar, you see him at the top of the phone booth pole or whatever the hell that is. And on the bottom of it, you see the woman saying, I wonder what he's thinking or if he's thinking at all. Now, when you understand what Eckhart Tolle says about being still and just being in a state where you're not thinking, you're not conscious, you're not understanding where you're at, you're just still and you're just not necessarily thinking about, negativity or positivity. It's in alignment with what he says. And if you understand Eckhart Tolle, then you know that, like I said, his teachings align with Aleister Crowley. He is a Crowleyite. So everything about this whole PG Lane thing and Kendrick Lamar and his rollout is going to all be based in his understanding that he's no longer a believer in the Most High. He's no longer following the Most High. He never was, but the cover up was that he was following the Most High, especially when you listen to Pimp a Butterfly and you listen to Damn. And Kendrick Lamar is a genius when it comes to the cohesion of his work. If you listen to Good Kid, Mad City, that's like the introduction. And then you go into what? You go into to Pimp a Butterfly. To Pimp a Butterfly is basically the music industry. And pimping a butterfly is a play on the monarch control asset. It's not a play on the actual butterfly. It is a play on that, but it's really supposed to promote the monarch control asset. You feel what I'm saying? You being controlled, you being put under mind control, and you being pimped out. That's what To Pimp a Butterfly is really, really supposed to represent. Along with the understanding that, black people are the most exploited in regards to our talents. We the most used. We're slaves. But that was just the surface level understanding of To Pimp a Butterfly. And then from there, you get what? You get Damn. Because Damn is where you basically understand your fate based off of your deeds. And that's why Kendrick Lamar has the song structured the way he does on that album in regards to certain messages that he's conveying in regards to the cohesion of it, so on and so forth. because it's all supposed to represent his internal struggles with the Most High. And that's why the album is called Damn, because he understands that he's going to die. This is real talk. It's a pro-truth channel. A pro-truth channel. I know you guys heard that before from the brother COJ, and that's what this is. So I just try to bring truth to the forefront. Excuse me. So after that, you have what? You have this album that's coming out. And I believe that this album is going to be based in, the heavy understanding of the worship system that began in ancient, Kemet. And Kendrick Lamar is going to really touch on it, I believe. And I believe that he's going to do things that's overtly showing you that he's willing to get away from the Heavenly Father and say, fuck this. I'm a sinner. I'm going to die a sinner. For my lack of expression, I believe that that's where it's going. Because, TDE, they have another member of their group. His name is Ab-Soul. He had an album called Do What Thou Wilt. And when you look at the track listing of that album, it's all based in what? The understanding of the Aleister Crowley doctrine. Let me just go more into it.
Okay, last time. This is love. This is your brain on. Sometimes you get lost in the sauce. Trying to figure out why I work for them and don't work for you.
So you see the right eye and the left eye for the mother goddess and sun god. And when Kendrick Lamar was eating the eggs where you didn't see his face, I believe that's supposed to represent being egoless. Because in the first one, he said, too many opinions in the glass house, this world full of ego, let me cash out. And when you understand what Eckhart Tolle says about the ego, it's perfectly aligned with this whole concept that Kendrick Lamar is trying to convey. So Kendrick Lamar has been reading a lot of Eckhart Tolle books, been studying a lot of what Eckhart Tolle says. And Eckhart Tolle, not to take away from, his findings or anything, but his teachings is not based in any truth, man. It's all based in do what thou wilt. Luciferianism. That's all it is.
PG Lane. Where creators can be true. You could do you.
You could do you. Do what thou wilt. That's what it's all based in. It's based in do what thou wilt. So just touching on PG Lang further. This is the logo for PG Lang. As we see here is black, red, and white for the Black Mass. And we see the letter A is supposed to represent anarchy, believe it or not. And that's why you see the kids pointing to the A, because they want to target the kids with this, because kids are feeble-minded. Kids are most impressionable. So that's why they have the kids here, believe it or not. So just going into Eckhart Tolle and from his book, A New Earth, from page 72, I just wanted to take out from his book. This is what he had to say about Christ and the understanding of the truth or whatever. So he says, there's only one absolute truth, and all other truths emanate from it. When you find that truth, your actions will be in alignment with it. Human action can reflect that truth, or it can reflect illusion. Can the truth be put into words? Yes. But the words are, of course, not it. They only point to it. The truth is inseparable from who you are. Yes, you are the truth. If you look for it elsewhere, you will be deceived every time. The very being that you are is truth. Jesus tried to convey that when he said, I am the way and the truth and the life. No. When Christ was saying that he is the way and the truth and the life, he's basically saying that my understanding is of truth, because he understood that we will be in a world full of deception and lies. So coming into the understanding of Christ, the true understanding of Yahweh Shah Mashiach, you understand that his ordinance and what he was set up to do, which was, give Israel repentance by saving only Israel and dying for Israel. That was all based in the true ordinance, as opposed to what we believe about Christ, which is, oh, he was born on December 25th. Oh, Christ died for everybody. Oh, Christ, you celebrate Easter for Christ. That's all bullshit. So that's why Christ had to make that distinction and make it clear that I am the truth, the way, and the life, because the understanding of Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, leads you to the true understanding of who you are. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what he was saying. He wasn't trying to say no damn, you are like, Christ is Christ. How could you apply yourself to Christ if Christ is the only person on earth who never sinned? Like Eckhart Tolle tried to say that we should all be we are all Christ. Christ was applying this message to everybody. Christ was not doing that for everybody because everybody on the earth has sinned. Christ is the only human being on the earth to never sin. So how the fuck could he be talking about applying this message to everyone? Let me just read on though, because it's crazy what this man says. The very being that you are is truth. Jesus tried to convey that when he said, I am the way and the truth and the life. These words uttered by Jesus are one of the most powerful and direct pointers to the truth. If understood correctly, if misinterpreted, however, they become a great obstacle. Jesus speaks of the innermost I am, the essence of identity of every man and woman. Every life form, in fact, he speaks of the life that you are. Some Christian mystics have called it the Christ within. Buddhists call it your Buddha nature. For Hindu, it is Atman, the indwelling God. When you are in touch with that dimension within yourself, this is all based on Luciferianism, the promotion that you are your own God. There is no God. That's Luciferianism. That's trying to take away the credit from the Creator, from the Heavenly Father, the end all be all. We are not gods. The so-called black man is a god in regards to he's supposed to be a god in the truest definition of that word, meaning power, because the Most High gave us the power to judge the earth in righteousness because we were given the commandments, laws, and statutes. But being that we disobey him, we don't even understand, what we uphold to or what we should uphold to. But just reading on. Where am I? And being in touch with it is your natural state, not some miraculous achievement. All your actions and relationships will reflect the oneness with all life that you sense deep within. This is love, laws, commandments, rules, and regulations are necessary for those who are cut off from who they are, the truth within. They prevent the worst excesses of the ego, and often they do not even do that. Love and do what you will, says St. Augustine. Words cannot get much closer to the truth than that, and that's all based in do what thou wilt. He's a Crowleyite. That's what he is. Love and do what you will. Do what thou wilt. Lamar, love is the law. This is where he gets his teachings from. He gets his teachings from Aleister Crowley, member of the OTO, Ordos Templis Orientis. So I wanted to go to this image here because this is supposed to be Kendrick Lamar. And this is supposed to be like a video that he's doing for one of his songs on his new album coming out soon. This is him supposed to be, in his Christ altar. He's trying to mimic Christ. This is basically what he's doing. And this goes back to a new earth and what he was talking about in regards to Eckhart Tolle. Being that you are the truth, therefore you should mimic Christ. And this is what Kendrick Lamar is doing. So he doesn't believe in the Most High if he's doing this. This is idolatry. This is blasphemous, more so than idolatry. Because we understand that, Christ walked on water. And a lot of people, they don't understand that. And that's not meant for everybody to understand. But whatever. Christ walked on water. And this is him trying to basically mimic that. This is Kendrick Lamar trying to be Christ. It's crazy, man. Which is all understanding that he's basically Heru. Because Heru is taught to be Christ on the left-hand side. Right? Same person who did that was who? Tupac Shakur. And I'm going to go into that too. But let's go into Aleister Crowley. Where it says, Aleister Crowley was an English philosopher, occultist, ceremonial magician, poet, painter, novelist, and mountaineer. He founded the religion of Thelema or Thelema, identifying himself as the prophet entrusted with guiding humanity into the eon of Horus in the early 20th century. So who is Horus thought to be? Christ. So that's why Eckhart Tolle teaches that. Because his understanding of Jesus is basically an understanding of Horus. That's all it is. It's not the real Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. That's the thing. Like when people talk about Jesus Christ and they talk about certain tenets or certain, history in regards to like phenomena or certain doctrines, 9 times out of 10 it's going to be based in an understanding of Horus. It's just that certain people don't get it because they don't understand the Babylonian Kemetic mystery school system. They don't understand the teachings of the pagan gods If you understood it, then you would know the convolution. Then you would understand the obfuscation between what's real and what's meant to deceive you. You feel me? So I wanted to go into the number 93. It's very important that we go into this number real quick, and I'm gonna, go into it more, but it's important that we delve into the number 93. The number 93 is a great significance in Thelema, founded by English author and occultist Aleister Crowley in 1904 with the writing of the Book of the Law, also known as Liber Al Vel Legis. I can't really pronounce that, Vel Legis. The central philosophy of Thelema is in two phrases: liberal, liberal. This is where you get the word liberal from. Liberal, liberal, meaning to be free. Do what you want. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law, and love is the law. Love under will. The two primary terms in these statements are will and love, respectively. In Greek language, they are thelema and agape, love, using the Greek technique of isosophy, which applies a numerical value to each letter. The letters of each of these words sum to 93. So thelema and agape, or ayapi, 1 plus 3 plus 1 plus 80 plus 8 equals 93. Thelema, 9 plus 5 plus 30 plus 8 plus 40 plus 1 equals 93. We see here 106 to 93 in regards to the game that took place on Father-Daughter Day for Kobe Bryant and Gigi. Father-Daughter Day. Look it up. Sunday, October 11th was Father-Daughter Day, and it was ritualistic. That's why the score outcome was 106 to 93. The difference of that is what? 13. Who died at the age of 13 this year? Kobe's daughter, Gianna Bryant. This game took place on Father-Daughter Day. You can't make this shit up, man. You just can't. So as I stated, Ab-Soul, who was a member of TDE, he came out with an album called Do What Thou Wilt. He's an ardent Luciferian. He's right in your face with it, very overt. And he's just dead. Like, he had sacrificed his girlfriend. I forget her last name. I think her first name was Jolie or something like that. And she was a part of TDE. She did songs with Kendrick and all that. I forget her first name, but I know her last name was Jolie or something like that. Or her first name was either Jolie or her last name. But she was a sacrifice, and she was very talented. That was his girlfriend. You know what I mean? But let's just go into this track list here, this satanic Luciferian track listing. So it says Raw Backwards featuring Zakari. You have Braille. Now, Braille was a writing system for the blind. It was started by a man named Charles Barbarian, who basically came up with it for, night writing, to help people who couldn't see in the night so they can be able to understand the writing. And a man named Louis Braille came up with it based off of the inspiration of Charles Barbarian. And he was playing with his father's workshop tool or something like that, and he hurt his right eye, and that's where the system of Braille came from in regards to writing and feeling it based off of your hands and the motions and identifying letters based off of you not being able to see. So that's where Braille came from. Then you have Huey Newton. Now we know Huey Newton was a part of the Black Panther the Black Panther Party. And we know that the Black Panther Party is based in the veneration of Saturn because they wore all black. And the fists represented Marxism. You know what I mean? It just was unbeknownst to certain people in that faction. Now you have threatening nature. Threatening nature is basically the understanding, a thinly veiled way of saying threatening God, threatening the understanding of the force that comes from nature. You feel what I'm saying? The force that started nature, and that's the Most High. That's the understanding of morality, the understanding of, principles and so on and so forth. All those things align with nature. In this world, you see the threatening of nature with the pushing of homosexuality, pedophilia, with the pushing of all these left-handed agendas, so on and so forth, threatening nature. Then you have womanogamy. Now we understand what monogamy is. So you put womanogamy, that's all based in the worship of the woman. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you pushing that whole woman is God philosophy and all this nonsense. So womanogamy. Then you have invocation, wifey versus Wi-Fi, beat the case, Portishead in the morning. What I really wanted to go into was God's a girl. So you have a song called God's a Girl. Like, and you have the question mark, because a lot of people, a lot of inquisitive people, they wonder whether or not God is a woman or a man. God is a force, a manly force. When you read the book of Exodus, it tells you that I am a man of war. The Lord is a man of war. The Most High and His Son, they work on one accord. They're not one in regards to, Jesus is God, but they work on one accord. So when you understand that the force is a masculine force, there's no trying to convolute that by saying God is a woman because they quote unquote create life. But the man gestates the woman. The man puts his penis in a woman, ejaculates inside of her. She gestates the seed for 9 months and she delivers the seed. That's not her giving life. That's man and woman come together creating life. You feel what I'm saying? So they try to mix up these philosophies so they can put, this whole godly nature on the woman. When all she did was spread her legs open, she took some rod, she had to carry a baby based off of the fertilization, and the baby was delivered. All based off of the behest of how it works, because the Most High made it that way. That's how it works, based off of the Most High. So he has a song called Lonely Soul / The Law, the prelude going into the Law, featuring Mac Miller and Rhapsody. Mac Miller was a sacrifice, and we all know that. The law, which is the law? What's the law? The law is the love. The love is the law. Do what thou wilt. So this album, Do What Thou Wilt, is based in Aleister Crowley, the inspiration and the teachings of Aleister Crowley. TDE is a heavy, heavy, heavy record label for Luciferian worship. Heavy in that shit. If you understand TDE, they heavy into that. So let's go to the next image. So this right here is Ab-Soul. And this, picture or this depiction of him is supposed to give off disassociation. You feel what I'm saying? MK Ultra, Monarch programming. And I have no doubt that he was under that along with Kendrick Lamar. To show you that he is basically doing wrong by promoting this shit. Like when you're in this system where you're basically a slave to the music industry in regards to you having to promote this imagery, sometimes it's not of their own volition. Sometimes they do it based off of them being programming. So you show this depiction of him in this disassociation state, to where he doesn't even know he's himself, or a state of being in shock, or just being overwhelmed by depression or anxiety. Same thing you see here with Charlemagne the God for his book Shook One. Anxiety, depression, anxiety playing tricks on me. Red, black, and white for the Black Mass. That's all this is about. It's all pre-planned, all orchestrated. Charlemagne was an MK Ultra asset who was basically given an order to rape that young girl. I forgot her name. I think her name was Jessica or something like that. But he had raped a young girl. You read about it in regards to the naval base station that they were at, in regards to how she took LCD and PCP and she didn't know where she was, and how, Charlemagne basically rose in prominence after that. You feel what I'm saying? Because that was all ritualistic. And shout out to the brother Yaikwab. He touches on this on his channel, but people, they think that, you hear this and you get this from other people. No, this is just information that a lot of people know. You feel what I'm saying? Because when you study this stuff, it makes sense as to how it connects with other things that's similar or relevant. You feel what I'm saying? Do what thou wilt, for the black and the yellow, for the sun and the black sun, for Saturn and Horus, or Osiris and Horus. I mean, now this right here is Kendrick Lamar in a state of, him basically being casted out, him dying. You know what I mean? This is his old self, him wearing the black and white, but you see the white more for purity, trying to denote that he was righteous, and him, this evil Kendrick killing the former Kendrick, let you know that this is a transformation from this side to the left side, the right side to the left side, give you the understanding of multiple personality disorder. You feel what I'm saying? Kendrick Lamar, he's a quote unquote Gemini. Gemini programming is all based in multiple personality disorder. Tupac was suffering from the same thing, and he was a Gemini. He worshipped Horus. Same thing with Kendrick Lamar. He worshipped Horus, right? So you see here, once again, this is from the video for Love, Kendrick Lamar featuring that witch Rihanna. You see Kendrick Lamar in the black and white for As Above, So Below, as well as the black and white for As Above, So Below. Just conveying the images of the yin and the yang. You know what I mean? Bringing together of opposites. The old Kendrick, which is the righteous Kendrick being killed off, for the new Kendrick, which is the Kendrick that believes in Satan, the Kendrick that believes in the understanding that he's not going to make it, which is why you have, the concept of the cohesion of the albums that Kendrick Lamar puts out when it comes to Good Kid, Mad City, Damn. When it comes to Good Kid, Mad City, To Pimp a Butterfly, Damn, and now this album. It's all sequential. It's all Kendrick Lamar letting you know that this is what comes to the result of, the system that you partake in. You feel what I'm saying? This is the results of it. Death. That's why you got an album called Damn. I mean, because Kendrick Lamar knows his fate. And it speaks to the fate of the celebrities in the entertainment industry. That's why the album is so praised, because they understand that what they're doing is not of the Most High. They understand that. You feel what I'm saying? They understand that they follow Satan. That's why they believe that they're damned. So this is the ID magazine. And I'm sure you guys understand ID magazine and what it gives off in regards to what it's trying to convey. You see the eye right there on like a sideways smiley face with the eye winking. So ID magazine is for Heru, or the mother goddess, actually, the mother goddess, because it's for the left eye. So it says Kendrick. This is Kendrick interviewing his cousin, Baby King. We saw that in the PG Lane video. So it says, when did you find your love for music? Keem, I always loved music growing up, but I wasn't really searching for music myself until I was about 9 or 10. When I got a computer and the internet started being easy to access, this is 2009, 2010, Kanye, Wayne, Eminem, and I remember I liked Rihanna. Bitch, I was hot too. This is Kendrick saying, I didn't know about you till the end of 2010. I didn't know I wanted to make music till I was about 13, but it wasn't. But I didn't know I wanted to make music till I was 13, but it wasn't. I got it. Oh, I get what this is basically him expressing himself in that way. I just knew I was going to try it because everybody else tried it. My whole thing was to wait until my voice got deeper because I was a little kid. So what's the process? You get your own mic, your own setup. When I really started, I was 13. Now we know that 13 is the number for chaos. And I had an Apple Studio. I had Apple Studio shit on my computer. I had borrowed $300 from my grandma and I got my stuff on Craigslist. I was probably 15. I got a mic for $50. It was shit, but it worked. So I just started leaning on that. I made it work. What stands out is the fact that you started at 13. So they're basically emphasizing 13 because they understand what that really is about on a level, but they don't want to convey it to the masses overtly. They understand what that number is about. Well, especially Kendrick Lamar. I'm not sure if Baby Keem understand, but I know Kendrick Lamar understand what that number is about. What stands out is the fact that you started at 13. You know what I'm saying? I started recording at 16, so you got even more of a head start. But the fact that you went out your way at that age, that's already an advantage that some older guys don't have. Their first time getting in the studio is in their 20s, so they got to catch up. Baby Keem, I was in my room for so long in a makeshift setup. I was just learning what mics I like, and now I know I've got to stop being stubborn towards mics. If I tried it when my voice was different a year ago, I have to try it out now. I'm obviously evolving. Projects like Die For My Bitch officially solidified my room to me because officially solidified my room to me because obviously my room is my room. But to somebody else, it's not looked at like a studio, right? Excuse me, you guys. So this is the still shot from the video on PG Lane. This is him, with the black and white coming together of opposites, make sonic principles with the tools around him to show you that he's the quote unquote creator God. You know what I mean? That's what this is supposed to convey in a roundabout way, to show you that he's the creator God, Pan or Kanum. So you see him here. This is kind of like the compass of masonry. This is kind of like the compass of masonry. But when you see him with the pose with his hand in that pyramid shape, the inverted pentagram shape is for the mother goddess. That's why it's near his penis or his crotch area quote unquote, because it's for veneration of the mother goddess. So he's trying to give off that maybe he's been through some sort of, sexual programming to where, he was compromised. That's why you see a lot of celebrities, they always take pictures with their hands posed near their crotch for the mother goddess when they do the pyramid inverted, because it's supposed to represent that they were compromised, as well as the worship system of the divine feminine. So you see here Kendrick Lamar behind him with his head down, and you see Baby Keem looking up with the all black on, supposed to signify that he worships Saturn, as well as, it could be that Kendrick Lamar is the handler for Baby Keem. You know what I mean? You see Baby Keem with the black and white, and you see a little bit of red there. These pictures aren't taken, by happenstance. These pictures are always orchestrated. They wanted him to take this picture near that red part of the curve where he's at, so you can signify the black mass. That's what that's about. So you see Kendrick Lamar and Baby Keem covering their right eye for the mother goddess. See, when they cover the left eye is for Heru or Horus, the sun god. When they cover their right eye is for the mother goddess, Isis, or Hathor, the cow goddess. So ID magazine is in veneration of the mother goddess. You see Tupac Shakur with the patch, just to show you that he venerates Horus, quote unquote, Jesus Christ on the left-hand side. Same thing here as the Horus figure until the end of time. Tupac Shakur was a fractured human being. He was under programming. Him and Biggie Smalls, they were under Janus programming. And I'm going to do a video about that. But him and Biggie Smalls were under Janus programming. I say Kendrick Lamar. You see Tupac Shakur. Now the hand pose that he's doing is for the caduceus. The caduceus was basically a wand that was used by Hermes Trismegistus, or Hermes, who was the messenger god. That's why he's looking up. He's not looking up for the Most High. He's looking up for Hermes or Horus. Same thing. But actually Hermes is Cush. Hermes is Cush, and Hermes goes back to the numberer, or Cush goes back to the numberer. That's why the Muslims, they worship Allah. Allah is just Cush, the moon god, mathematics, so on and so forth. So the caduceus is for Hermes. You see Kendrick Lamar throwing up the caduceus, right? ID magazine covering all his bases. That's what this is. This is the caduceus. I remember I did one video where I forgot to mention this because I forgot how to pronounce it, but you got to go back to information, and you got to you always want to make sure that your mind is embedded with it. So this here is the caduceus, right? The intertwining serpents on a rod there. The two intertwining serpents supposed to venerate Hermes. Now you see here the promotional poster for Kendrick Lamar's single that came out in 2015 called I. This is supposed to represent masonry, believe it or not, coming together of the blue and the red. And I represents I am. And in the Masonic circles, they believe that they're their own God. So the blue and the red, Masonic principles, you see them posing with their heart shape. It's supposed to be for love, but it's really supposed to be signifying a butterfly, believe it or not. Because the butterfly is what, Kendrick Lamar was basing his album off of. With it being personified as well as it really, being figurative. Or literal. So this is what you see here. So this is from, this is just a lyric from Genius, from the album To Pimp a Butterfly on the last song, Mortal Man, where Kendrick Lamar is basically going into necromancy, to where he's channeling the spirits and talking to the dead, in a roundabout way. So that's crazy, man. In my opinion, only hope that we kind of have left is music and vibration. So this is Kendrick Lamar talking to quote unquote Tupac Shakur. A lot of people don't understand how important it is, Sometimes I can get behind a mic and I don't know what type of energy I'm gonna push out or where it come from. Trip me out sometimes. And this is Tupac replying. Because as spirits, we ain't even really rapping. We just letting our dead homies tell stories for us. And it says, damn, basically giving you an indication that Kendrick Lamar, his album was going to be called Damn. That was predictive programming right there. So you see here Horus, and you see him with the Ankh there, right? Horus, and one of the birds for Horus it was the eagle. So that's why you see him depicted as an eagle to a degree. You see the Ankh here and the sun above it, and this is supposed to represent Horus, Osiris, right? That's what it's all about, the sun. So this is the last image I want to bring you guys, just to bring it home in regards to what this is truly about. It's about the sun worship. You know, the Lion King is based in the story of Isis, Horus, and Set, or Osiris, Isis, and Set. Osiris is Mufasa. He dies, and who avenges him? Simba. Who's Simba? Simba is Heru or Horus. That's why, you know, when you see the end of it, they put Simba towards the sun, because Simba is supposed to be Horus. I think the monkey he brings up Simba, and he raises him towards the sun, because Simba is Horus or Osiris. He avenged the death of his father Osiris when Horus was reincarnated from Osiris. Like it's mythology. You feel what I'm saying? So they take it and they basically mimic it. When you understand that Osiris was killed by Set, right? And Osiris was killed. He was put under the tree stump, for 3 days, which is going into the understanding of the whole winter solstice thing. He was reincarnated as Heru, and Simba is supposed to be Heru, avenging the death of his father. You feel what I'm saying? And Scar is supposed to be Set, right? So that's how you understand that. I'm sorry for explaining it in a clunky way, but you lose sight of certain things when it comes to this understanding, because it's so much of it, you forget it. But you gotta keep your mind on it. And that's just me reminding myself that I gotta be on point with this stuff. But so I can convey it to brothers so they can understand what they need to follow. They need to follow the Heavenly Father and not this nonsense. Not this nonsense, man. But I just want to thank you all for continuing to support the channel, and peace to all you. God bless you all. Thank you.